I refused a relationship with my biological mother because she gave me up for adoption. I-16F was adopted when I was a baby. My bio mom was in her early 20s when she gave birth to me. I'm not sure exactly how old she was or how old she is now. She wasn't ready for a baby, so she gave me up for adoption. My adoptive parents don't know anything about my dad or anything more about my bio family. My parents told me a month ago that my bio mom reached out and asked if she could meet me. They said it's up to me and I can if I want. I decided to meet her just out of curiosity and because I wanted to know the details of why she gave me up, who my bio dad is, etc. She drove to our town and we went for coffee. She told me I can ask her what I want and she'll be honest. I asked her why she gave me up and she said she was young and thought she would be throwing her life away with a child. She went on to get married and be quite successful in her career. She's a scientist. I asked her why she decided to look for me, and she said she always wondered what I turned out like, and now that she's settled in her life, she would love for us to have a relationship, especially since she struggled to conceive, and she's come to terms with me being her only child. That hurt my feelings, to be honest. Like, she only remembers that she has a child now that she can't have any more. She probably wouldn't have even reached out if she didn't have trouble conceiving. She said she would like it if I could come over on breaks and stay with her and her husband. I told her thanks for reaching out and answering my questions, but I'm not really interested in a relationship with her that she only wanted because she can't have more kids. I told her I get giving up a child when she was very young, and I genuinely don't blame her for it. But it's been 16 years. I don't need a relationship with her now, and I'm not really comfortable with it either. She looked really sad but said she understood. She went back to her city and has been texting me every so often, dropping hints that she wants me to come visit her. Yesterday she sent me a picture of a room she decorated in pink. I don't even like pink, and said she's excited for when I come visit. Clearly she hadn't gotten the hint, so I told her to please stop this and that I wasn't going to visit. I kind of feel bad and guilty somehow, but I really don't want to keep forcing myself to speak to this lady or go visit her. I don't want her to think I'm spiteful for her giving me up, but I just don't want a relationship with her and her husband. Update. Didn't expect to update at all, and definitely not so soon, but I had a call with bio mom. She hadn't responded to my message asking her to stop and that I wouldn't be coming over, and she called me about an hour ago. She asked me to explain what makes me so uncomfortable about having a relationship with her and why I'm being so mean when she's just trying to bond with me. I told her what she said about wanting a relationship with me now because she can't have other kids makes me feel like I'm her last resort, and she would have never reached out if she had kids. She said she's sorry for saying that, but I did ask her to be honest about why she looked for me, and she was just being honest. I said yes I did and thanks for your honesty, but that doesn't mean I have to be happy with your response. She said if I don't look at it as being her last resort, I can gain another mom and dad with her and her husband because they have love to give that they don't have other kids to give to. I could tell she was trying to make the situation sound better, but honestly it was just making me feel worse. I said I don't want or need another mom or dad, and that she doesn't get to give me away when I was inconvenient, then think I'm going to welcome her into my life with open arms just because she wants to play the role of mother bear to someone. I told her she's literally a stranger, and it's bizarre that she wants to have a close relationship with me just because we're blood. I admit this was meaner than I intended it to be, and I did regret saying it, although it's 100% what I feel. I said in my post yesterday that I wasn't spiteful, but I probably am. I don't know why she can choose to pick her career over her child, then expect a mother-daughter relationship when other people have done all the work of raising me. Don't get me wrong, I don't believe giving me up for adoption was easy for her at all, it couldn't have been. But she made the choice to further her career instead of raising me. Clearly that choice has been the best one for us both because she got the career she wanted, and I grew up in an amazing family with the best parents I could have asked for. So I don't really resent the outcome, but I resent the audacity she has to think we can just magically develop a mother-daughter bond because of her desires and despite my own. I know a lot of you said to not burn this bridge because I might need her one day, and that may be true. My feelings on this might change, but I don't think there's going to be a time where I think she handled this correctly and had my well-being at heart. This entire thing has felt like it was just about her and not even the slightest bit about me and what she thinks I need or want. After I said what I said, she said fine and that she won't contact me again. I told her I'm sorry for being harsh and I really don't want to be mean or cause her any hurt. but this is hard on me too. Lastly, I said thanks to her for placing me up for adoption because I have an amazing life and I wouldn't change it for anything. So that's it, and that bridge may be burnt, my bad lol. As some of you suggested, I think I'll ask my parents to contact her for medical information and dad's side of the family in case I want to reach out. I know many people won't agree with what I did and how I went about it, but honestly, I feel good. I'm less anxious now that it feels like this chapter is closed. All I gain from her wanting to meet me is anxiety and uncertainty. I feel better now that I'm not wondering what's going to happen with her. If I end up wanting anything to do with her in the future, I'm not sure what I'll do, but I'm not worried. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Thank you to everyone for your advice, I really appreciate it. Story 2. I refused to lend my mother $1,000 because I couldn't trust her. Hey everyone, please help. I'm a 17-year-old working towards buying my own car in 3 months. Last year, my mother and I agreed to sign me up to an extracurricular activity that would help towards my college applications. I am stating this year, however, after the first bill for the activity came, she asked if we can be splitting the payments in half, which I agreed because it was a bit expensive, although she did say before that she could afford it. Then after a few weeks, she said altogether that she couldn't afford it. At this point, I was loving participating in this activity, and I did not want to quit. It was also helping me in a lot of ways, so I decided I'd pay for it all on my own. I had a job at the time, but it was only part-time hours as I was juggling my final year of schooling. The total for the year ended up being around $9,000, and that year I only made around $12,000 again. I was working few hours. I tried to save whatever was left, however, I also paid for other necessities like my dental work throughout the year. I have braces, so I was left with almost no substantial savings. The very last bill we got came in July, and she saw it as it was sent to her email and mine. But she did not pay it until they had sent her 4 reminders to, and it was overdue by a month and a half. They usually allow a 2-week grace period. After seeing this, I started stressing because I knew they would soon charge a late fee, and I had no idea how much that would be, so I paid the full invoice of $895, which at that time almost cleared my account, leaving me with around $300. She agreed to pay me back in full for that one invoice, however then said only half, and now has refused to pay me back, with her argument being, "This money is nothing compared to what I've done for you in your life." Track back to now. She decided to travel overseas to see her family. I'm not going with her because she could not afford her ticket. She's leaving in 1 week and has just told me she can't afford her travel insurance because she spent an unexpected amount of money today. She asked if she could borrow $1,000 from me. I told her I cannot trust her as she has not paid me the $447 half invoice she was meant to pay me in August, and $1,000 is a lot for me, and in my current job, would take around a month to pay. Keep in mind that my current job very much depends on clients, and being the holiday season, I have had almost zero work recently as everyone has been away, so I have been surviving for 2 months on everything I've saved with almost no money coming in. What should I do? She will 100% guilt me if I say no, but why would I trust her when she's technically in debt $9,000 for all the activities she said she would pay for that she didn't? I chose to ignore all of it and told her to just pay me the $447, but she hasn't even paid that. Please help. Update. Thank you everyone for your replies and support suggestions. I really appreciate it. I thought I would give you guys an update. I was out most of the day, but I got home and asked my mom if she was being serious about needing $1,000. She said yes. I then told her, nicely, that the reason I'm hesitant is because she still owes me money from August last year, and that I can't trust her to pay me back whatever I give her. She sort of rolled her eyes and said, "I don't need a lecture." I then asked her why she didn't plan ahead for this cost, because she should know that expenses for an overseas trip don't end at the flight ticket. For some context, I recently took a trip interstate by myself as a reward for finishing school. I could have gone when all my friends were going, but I waited an extra month because I knew I wouldn't be able to comfortably afford it if I had gone in November. I brought that up and said that if I had been in the middle of my trip and asked for $1,000, she would have lectured me and forced me to pay her back as soon as I returned, or even straight up refused to give me the money and called me financially irresponsible. She then got irritated and said, "Are you going to give me money or not?" And I said no. She then said, "Then don't ask me for help ever again," in those exact words. My sister was also there witnessing everything, and she's never usually on my side when it comes to things like this, but she also told my mom that she should have planned better. For those asking if I could afford to live on my own, I would, but I simply cannot. Rent prices in my country and state are extremely high, and I need to move in with someone else. Also, I do not live in America or Canada where it is common for students to live on campus at their universities, but rather my university in my country offers housing that is more expensive than renting on my own. The only family I have here are relatives on my mom's side who would not take me in without her approval. Feeling defeated,